Have you ever missed the days of having those day planners where you can, have that mix of the to-do list plus your calendar and maybe some space for notes if you're lucky? Yeah, I miss those days too. But with the advent of technology and cell phones and, you know, we graduated from PDAs, we now have the ability to take this information and have it in a little more sleek and efficient interface. We have all kinds of apps, like for example, Todoist, Google Keep, Wunderlist. I mean, Asana is a major one that I use a lot. I mean, the options are endless. You even have note-taking apps that kind of dab into the productivity space of to-do list management. And you also have to-do list managers that dab into note-taking a little bit here and there. And even Microsoft is, getting more and more invested in the space. And you see with this type of format, we've sometimes some people think it's a better format in terms of the layout interface. We've graduated to something like this, where it's pretty much mobile first, tabs on the left, or panel on the left, and then the main interface in the middle, and then very top down, somewhat linear type of thinking and logic towards how we organize our tasks. But alas, it's still not there. I think it's time for someone to shake it up and take us to the next level of what productivity looks like in a digital age. And I think there is a new kid on the block that's going to be able to do that. And this new kid on the block is Edu, Agenda. Um, Agenda, it's a kind of fresh take on to-do list management and note-taking. And I've been blown away. This is what we have here. Notice, this is a calendar, to-do list plus a note-taking app in one interface. And no, this is definitely not Google's rendition or hack of combining a to-do list plus a calendar, which for a time can be suitable if you keep things simple, but could get really messy to manage if you put too many things in it. So very clumsy interface when you have a to-do list mixing and interfacing with a calendar. You see that to be the case in Outlook as well. This, however, could be what the future holds for a user interface shakeup and redesign when it comes to productivity. And I'll tell you why. Because when it comes to productivity, there's so many distractions, so many different types of things that are calling or vying for our attention and pulling us away from our work. And when things kind of come up and come to mind, we want to have something that is works with a flow that's seamless in terms of grabbing information and inputting information. Oftentimes with these tools, you got to flip through something really quickly and you got to hope to know where you placed it. With these apps, you have to click the right place. You got to search, and hopefully their servers are and your internet connection's fast enough. And you got to search, and hopefully Asana pulls it up in time. Or even with a mobile interface, again, you got to click here, click there, click there, click there. And when you get to a note, you might have a different app versus your to-do list. And so you might even have to hop between different apps and to-do lists and whatnot. So with this, you're really at an amazing place where you're having a seamless integration of to-do list and your calendar plus note-taking. Now, this is in beta, and here's a demo account. You can sync it with Google Events or Google Calendar, but again, it's very limited still. So everything I'm going to say, take with a grain of salt in terms of its capabilities. But man, is this exciting? I have to confess, it's also heartbreaking, and I'll tell you why. How can that be? Um, the reason is because I was literally slotted to work on an app that addressed this actual issue 2018 as one of my goals, to begin working on something like this that solves this problem, because I had a problem that many people have when it comes to managing projects, but also managing information that may turn into a task, or may just be a placeholder for something, or maybe just for a record, and it can morph into a task, and it can get on my calendar as a meeting, and so it's all these different things that it can morph into. And the nature of work, especially as we get into more and more of an information-based economy, um, and our work that we produce becomes more and more digital. We need something that we can look at it from different dimensions, and pull it from it in different dimensions, and not have to worry about switching apps, switching this, switching that. And so with this, I think it's almost there, in the sense that if there's a stream of thought consciousness, or in a meeting, we just go right into the app, type it up, or when we go to, if you need to do a task, write those things. Eventually, I'm sure they're going to have some subtasks that you can create. Um, and yeah, so you have these task management, the note management, and then obviously your calendar, where you can go straight and see what's going on. And notice these like small placeholders where it automatically redirects the content and puts it right in a little more shorthand version of it. You have different windows, I guess you can say, where you can see the stuff. Now this is a demo, so you can see in a broad spectrum things. You see the agenda, and then here I see just a pure to-do list now, and then pure notes. Now this is just beta, and maybe in the future what they'll do is, as I write a task, it'll automatically show up here, so that I get to this is almost like a filter of my work in a way that is clean. I don't have to reproduce it. So if I'm literally in the middle of a meeting with someone on Sunday, let's say I have a meeting on Sunday, why you would meet on a Sunday, I don't know, maybe you have a board meeting for your church, write your notes. Oh, now I know I have to do this or that. Maybe in the future they might implement a shorthand to keyboard shortcut. Boom, I do like a symbol or something, and it automatically converts this into a task for me, and I just flow. And so literally my notes and my task are just pretty much one thing. So that's where that comes in. This is huge because there's so many different places where this can go. One, again, like I said, you can drop all the tasks in here for you, notes here for you, and look at your calendar for you. Obviously, integrating with Google Calendar is going to be huge. And even, maybe they might have an API that can pull from different to-do list apps, if you want to import them or even export them. And then notes. I mean, this could be a winner, especially if they add freeform, similar to OneNote, where if I had a touch device, I can just draw in here, or just, redirect all the place content wherever I want, just float it around instead of being linear. This can go so in different places. So the one thing I'll recommend, though, if they're not going to be doing it already, is being able to see, if I write a note here, I should be able to see it in my journal here. Write a task in my agenda, I should be able to see a task here. And if they can, I know Sunrise did this with Google Calendar, have a two-way sync. I know it was really hard, two-way sync from Google Calendar and this calendar here, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of limitations for how people can use this if it's only one-way sync. Yeah, they have a mobile app that's pretty promising too. So check that out. And that's my review of Edu Agenda. I think it's bittersweet. This is the app that I want to create, and now someone else created. But hey, I guess in the end, it doesn't matter. I have a really cool app that I get to play with, and might meet my needs most likely. So check it out, Edu. Great job. Continue the great work, and I look forward to seeing all the future enhancements and add-ins they can do. I mean, this place, I predict that this set will have breakout success, get bought out by Microsoft, and then make us all cry because there's another 2.0 web app that gets bought out by a big company that gets squashed, but finds a different form of life uh, in another, company. But hopefully, they stay true to this and keep it around for a long time. All right, that's me wrapping up this review. Hope you have a great one. Talk to you guys later.